And, you know, with kind of the Lion having a stun, you know, the Mars as well, so having high levels in the Snap 5 for that early kind of game when we see the DP really utilizing the Exorcism. But it's going to be important here with the Death Prophet Ultimate, if they're able to take these objectives early, kind of find the map control and really limit the farm. Because Motivate, it's going to be, I mean, yes, you've got the Mars and the Snapfire and the Lion that can do stuff, but any kind of mag lineup is always just going to be a little bit slower.
Yeah, and it's a big if as well, you know, if they're able to do this, if they're able to do that. Well, if a single push doesn't work, they're set back a fair amount with their timings. You know, they're going to be banking around these exorcisms paying off, getting Spectre a quarter of the way to her next item. It is still very much just completely based around this Spectre, even with the Inner Beast aura, right? It's just another aura to be able to buff him up.
Gotta love the good old friendly tips just to start the game. Again, gotta keep in mind that Masteros, his old team, are motivated the moment you see Boom Bella. Your chat Fnatic Masteros. Looks like still the respect coming out. And I mean, you brought up as well that I mean, you were able to speak with Fearless and that this was a team that you had been around together for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, for a solid 3 years, this roster, or at least the majority of it, has been together through various teams. Alpha Red, Alpha Question Mark, Be Continued, RR, I think, as well. So there've been a few iterations of it. It's just that Motivate was the one that they really started to get a lot of success through.
The battle begins.
I think this time around with the boar, it's going to have a much better time, right? Because you don't want to be popping that Blade Fury super early on, just to be able to avoid some of the slows that are going to be coming out and the harass that's going to be pumped into you. Lots of damage over time. Has he gone any... No Ring of Regen or anything like that, just the one set of tangos. So Savage putting a lot of merit in his own ability, dodge out a lot of this damage that might be coming through.
They don't... This is a thing, though, that when we saw the Beastmaster yesterday, we were highlighting a lot the importance in being able to kill off the boars because of the experience and just what the boars are able to provide the Beastmaster in the lane. And I mean, they've got a Mag 5 and a Jug who's, you know, not one of the greatest carries to be able to kill off that boar. So it could really make it difficult for him throughout this lane.
Yeah, especially as it starts to level up, and in these timings you can see he's using the spin here. Fantastic that he was able to actually deal with both of them.
Perfect that they just both grouped up, honestly. You can ask for better than that. So you see the
punishment. And you can see what it means. Like, have a look at Savage. Nearly level 2, Masteros not even halfway towards it. So that's going to result in a little bit of a power spike when they hit onto their level 3 at a sooner point than Fnatic does.
Jabs, can he deny this pull or not? Looks like Boombell doing a very good job.
It doesn't really matter though. It's the worst small camp. Like
It's a lot of time to the position 3, and just that 4 is doing as best as you can to really hinder the pulls and kind of stop the stacking as well. But down bot, they're gonna have this double start setup. I mean, going against the Undying, the Spectre, both heroes. I mean, DJ so hard to kill as we see that Soul Rip almost bringing down the Mars. It's a lot of damage coming through for them. Q even gets a deny on the range creep. But they blocked out the small camp, and you even see what Q's doing. He's running over to try and body block this, just to try and make sure they don't reveal that there's actually a ward there. So just continuing to keep that anonymous.
The next level play.
Couldn't have said it better.
The next level play.
Dealt with again. Oh, wait. I'm psychic.
Boombell just reading your mind. Look at this man going. How's the mid lane matchup looking at the moment? 11-4 compared to the 9-3. So, I mean, both these heroes have a relatively decent way to be able to secure CS with that Crypt Swarm and with the Scatter Blast. You see how, you know, aggressive Fearless is currently playing though against Moon.
I mean, Masteros is going to be able to take this experience coming from the neutral camp, so getting much closer to his own level 3. I think, like you were saying before, in the first series of the day, it does provide a little bit of a power spike when Phoenix is able to hit up onto that level 3 as well. So I'm surprised he didn't, you know, stick nearby, make sure he reached up to that level at the same sort of time. And Masro's very important as well, having the old wild boar.
Mid lane, actually, Moon.
Oh, this is a deep dive.
Yeah, my dude is just pushing back Fearless. It's going to force out a rotation from Q.
Leon?
Let's see what they're able to do. And it's 2 points in Siphon. He's going to have another one available as well in case they really get aggressive around the river. So now it leaves Nevermind solo at the moment, who honestly is doing relatively well even against the Undying in the lane, which has usually been a great way to be able to deal with the Mars. You see Nevermind has currently got 18 last hits, and he's actually going to be building to the Soul Ring. So this is something that we have not been seeing too much in the Mars lately. It's you know, kind of the wand, a lot more emphasis even on the bottle as the off lane.
Yeah, and I don't mind it all that much in this game in particular, just because you just want to be as beefy as possible to be able to take these team fights, to be able to go in and make a lot of action happen when these cooldowns are not available for Fnatic. So anything that just gives you the opportunity to take fight after fight, you got to take it.
Savage might be in trouble, actually. Didn't get the ball. We're going to see Q actually end up finding first blood. We'll continue. Oh, never mind. Well, they don't put pressure on top. So nicely done. I mean, Undying's just going to end up falling. Q is continuously chasing down DJ. Looked like didn't even need the help from Fearless there. So that's some solo experience for the Lion.
Nicely done. Just chased him down using those bits of speed. Much that an Undying can do, even though he is slightly faster. Hex and Earthspike is going to be enough to do him in.
Radiant are scanning.
Boombell just killing off jabs. All right, nicely done. He's right by the bounties as well, so looks like it's going to be 3 at the moment for Dire. Fearless is going to be able to get a refill in the bottle, but he's a little bit behind right now in the experience. You see Fearless, you know, was having a good start, but now the Death Prophet, you know, really started to take over.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about one of the bad reasons for having a Magnus into it was the Spirit Siphon.
DJ trying to chase down Nevermind. Look at the rotation coming through for the Phoenix. Mars falling incredibly low here. Decay's going to be up in a couple seconds. Looks like Jab flying through as well with the 2 points in the Fire Spirit. And the Mars will end up falling there. Nicely done. It does put Jabs down bot. It's going to have to be Beastmaster solo, but you see just, you know, at least being able to find the first kill here for Fnatic.
Oh, he's kind of caught in the middle here, Savage. Has to be a little bit careful.
Up a lot of damage there. You see, very close to the level 6. He's not going to have the mana though to pop it instantly, and I guess Masros with the boar as well can kind of tank it up a little bit. So you see with, how well they're able to play. Boombell, he goes for a 2-0-1 build at the moment, and he actually is just going to get chased down. I mean, he's got the skewer, actually going to drag back to Savage now with the Blade Fury, and with the slows, he's just going to be able to find the kill on top of the Beastmaster. They might at least be able to get a return thanks to the boars. You see the damage that they're able to output, but it is enabling Savage, and even meanwhile down bot, Moon commits the Exorcism. They do have the catapult actually still alive, but Dire have done a relatively good job at trying to deal with the creeps, but they want to dive under the tower. Q's in trouble here, just eating up all the spirits at the moment. Nevermind's going to try and push him back with the last right click. It's not enough. So Lion's going to keep his life here. They still got the Exorcism for about a quarter duration left, so let's see how much damage they're able to put out on top of the bottom tier 1 tower at the moment.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is it though, this is what they're playing around. The first use of the Exorcism, coming around, trying to take the tower. Doesn't completely finish the job, but it means that any sort of pick-off now enables Raven to be able to deal with it on his own.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still have the Omni Slash on the top, doesn't have the mana for it though.
See, I mean, Mastros is about to have the roll with the Necro Books as well, so they want to instantly get aggressive on Savage here, who, with the Blade Fury, is going to just scurry himself away. He's actually going to go all the way back to base, so now this should be able to give Radiant an opportunity to try and shove in that top side, because, I mean, they don't really have the greatest hero to kind of play the dead lane at the moment. I guess the Lion, I mean, Lion can't really, you know, Mag might be able to get some experience so he can soak up to higher points in the Empower, but, you know, against the Beastmaster, it's so much more difficult just with the Hawk Vision.
Yeah. He's got the Hawk Vision, he's got his Necro Books, he has the Double Boar and the Inner Beast Taurus. So fair amount of damage coming through here, and this is just with one hero effectively, whereas you need to pop a full ultimate to get the same sort of benefit the draft that Fnatic have gone with.
See, Raven, he's also got the Blade Mail picked up now as well. A deep lane ward, seeing the rotation coming through from Savage, just dodging the top. He TP'd back to base though, so kind of, maybe hoping for a Haunt to rejoin. He's always got this potential, but with the Blade Mail, it's now really going to enable him to just kind of keep up, and he had a pretty good lane, honestly.
Good lane. They're trying to make the push happen onto the bottom side. I like the fact that the Phoenix and the Undyings moved towards the top to join Masteros just in case the defense came. Like you said, that was a prime opportunity for them to potentially use the Haunt. But just keeping this mid lane equilibrium in his favor.
Dire are scanning.
Just while we have a bit of a quiet point in the game, I do want to give a shout out. I don't think you can see it on the stream because of the overlay, but were you playing Dota when pennants were a thing, where you could like get a little badge for one of your teams? And it,
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, well, at the moment there is one person with the Fnatic badge watching this game in game, so shout out to them, because they've been a Fnatic OG for quite a while. Well, they were even Southeast Asian, I think.
Man, when was that? I don't remember that being a thing at all.
That was like 2013.
Oof, yeah, I think that's just when I started watching then. I think 2013 I started playing.
They should bring it back, it's nice to have a little bit of that fan interaction there, knowing that you've got a lot of people also cheering on a team.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to support the fans here. So we take a look though. Radiant, they are thinking about coming over. I mean, they got the Exorcism award on the higher ground, and they really want to try and continue taking the objectives with the Beastmaster and the Death Prophet. And keeping in mind as well, I mean, we've got the Tome coming up pretty shortly, so the level 6s. See what they're able to do though. Actually, did Nevermind cut the wave? No, he didn't. Looks like he just got the Korra instead. There we go.
I think, yeah, this is exactly what Moon needs to do. I'm not sure if you caught it, but the Arena of Blood was used in an attempt to kill Jabs on the bottom side, but missed completely. So they know that they don't have that ultimate to play with, so prime time to be using this Exorcism. As well, you've got the Inner Beast level 3, so an extra 30 bonus attack speed coming to this tower. And here comes the Siege Creep as well, so this should be going down without any contest.
Dire looks like they're thinking about punishing. Nevermind in the backline. Fearless got a haste as well. Although Moon's about to get the health back thanks to the Exo, so again, like you said, with the Arena on cooldown, it's going to make it a little bit difficult for them to do so. One thing I want to bring up, are you worried a little bit just of how the experience required for the Lion and the Mag? I mean, Mag, once it's more important for you to have that max out in power, then it's kind of okay, but the Lion in particular, this is a hero who, I mean, the ultimate has got such a long cooldown, you really want to get those abilities maxed out.
Yeah, I guess it's not a insane concern just because of how strong it is at the level 1 mark, where despite the fact that it's got a 160-second cooldown, Exorcism has 145 seconds. So if you've got the Lion and you're able to kill the DP and halt the push entirely, you're not really caring all that much.
Let's see, Q's going to try and attempt here, but Jabs going to try and get to the tree line and dive away. Stun. Not going to connect Jabs with that Sunray TP. Let's see if they can get the cookie. No, wrong way facing, unfortunately. So it's going to be able to dodge the movement down from Motivate, really trying to attempt to get a cute little pick off. But got to keep in mind, I mean, Savage is getting incredibly farmed. Top of the net worth. He's got 1 kill, 110 last hits, really utilizing this mag and power, which is now maxed out. So, I mean, Savage already with the Mask of Madness and the Yasha, he's been having a very good game so far.
Nearly 2 full levels ahead of the Spectre as well, so taking that experienced lead that he was able to generate as a result of the kills onto the boars in lane and running with it. Level 11 now. Getting closer to that Manta style. Pretty effective to be able to dodge out a lot of this attack speed slow that might be getting in onto him on the silence from the DP as well.
They do have Arcane Rune and Exorcism now back up. Moon's close to the Your Scepter with Dragging the Creeps. It looks like this should be enough for him to be able to claim that. And yeah, they really just want to use the Exorcism whenever it's available. Pops the Arcane, Masteros is already up top, and just makes it so difficult for Motivate to really defend this with the advantage that they have in the vision at the moment, thanks to the Beastmaster. So,
well, they've smoked though, but they're probably going to run into this Undying.
Yeah, nice positioning from DJ. They got the blink on Nevermind, so it's gonna be able to drag back the Undying. Hasn't got bursted down just yet. Gets the one decay, sorry, but it's not gonna be enough considering the rest of Fnatic aren't there to punish those two heroes. Meanwhile, though, Death Prophet, no, thinking about trying to find Fearless instead with the Horn forward. Raven's able to get the slope. Boone has this Your Scepter. It's a gap close, but it looks like it might be unrequired here. Die the TP down. Savage wants to try and help out here. They got a way to cancel the TP, and now it looks like Moon popping the X's. I'm going to keep in mind this is with the Arcane as well. Fearless it's going to get brought down, although it's a nice arena. The Omni Slash getting tanked up with the creeps, however, it won't matter. As Savage, that level 12, the extra value in it with the duration here, just being able to find the Death Prophet kill, and now Radiant, that Supernova, not really doing a whole lot there. A 1-for-1 trade, a lot of ultimates forced out. They're going to try and continue chasing them, but Jabs has got that refresh in the dive. Nevermind's going to be able to blink forward. Those spears available. Unfortunately, the trees are not there, and he doesn't have the angle to be able to find the spear connection on the tower. So, yeah, a couple of both the position 2s dying there, and we see a lot of ultimates used.
A lot of ultimates used. Could have gone even better for Motivate, but I think Q had just used his TP elsewhere, so he wasn't able to join in onto that. But like we mentioned before, it just feels like Fnatic aren't able to do anything, at least for the next 50 seconds now, with the Exorcism being used. And by that point, you'll have... the arena will be back up, and only 40 seconds until the Juggernaut ulti. A little bit... ironic's the right word to use, but when they were going for that secondary kill onto Jabs there, the reason that they didn't have any trees to spear into is because that was where the failed gank attempt on Jabs was previously that destroyed them all.
Unfortunately, the price of going for that now costs you kind of the kill afterwards, but when we see at the moment, it's another game where there's not a lot of pressure being put on the map. I mean, 8 kills overall, and this is kind of naturally a good old mag lineup. You're really wanting to utilize that Empower and find the farm, but you know, it's a bit of a slow one at the moment. It's a 2,000 net worth lead for Motivate around the 15-minute mark. We do have Exorcism back up though, because they used it with the Arcane and really wanting to try and get an objective out of it.
Q's going to do his best to try and defend this, but he is just dead.
They're trying to wrap over. They do TP to the tier 3. Q's ultra dead, but let's see if they can punish the dive here. It's going to be pretty difficult with the Exorcism and the Tombstone already committed. Nevermind. Blink's also getting cancelled as well thanks to the zombies. And now Moon has always got the haste as well to be able to utilize. Dive forward, jab, Supernova. Nice. Still has the availability. And now with the arena, I mean, it's trapping in Moon, but it doesn't matter as they've already lost 2 heroes. They haven't dealt with the Supernova. Stuns up the Juggernaut through the Blade Fury, and he doesn't have the Omni Slash as well. Mortimer Kisses coming from the backline, but Savage, he's in trouble. Tries to drop the healing wall, but it's not going to be enough health to keep him his life alive. And it looks like Master up on top of the side. However, Nevermind's going to be able to get a little bit of revenge there. So we see it's a 3 for 2 with the buyback on the Lion, but Savage is kind of a little bit too far pushed up forward with that TP.
Uncharacteristic early game mistakes coming through from Motivate as well. You know, they commit quite heavily onto that Tombstone. They didn't actually finish it off, so all the while they were trying to run away, they had a fair few zombies on them, and it was just slowing them down, preventing the escape. Forces Savage to make that deep TP in just to get that final last hit off, but as you mentioned, didn't have the Omni Slash up for the next 5 seconds.
Ags, straight chucks in Q. Silence going to prevent the fall. Now the Haunt as well, still available actually. Fnatic, they've already lost 1. Tombstone's in a pretty good spot here. Phil's going to attempt the TP. Meanwhile, Raven just trying to deal with the backline. Boom Bell, nicely done, but it looks like it's still going to be enough damage here with that dagger. And now Boom Bell, I mean, he tried to protect the Lion. Looks like it might have cost him his life, though. The Moon doesn't have the Yours available, so it's going to be a 1-for-1. That is the buyback death timer on the Lion, though.
And with that as well, like Boom Bell, he was in position to get a decent RP off, but was a little bit short on mana as well. That's one of the downsides of playing this position 5 Magnus, is that it takes up basically half your mana pool just to get off a single RP with the items that you're able to get at your disposal.
Never mind. I'm not going to spear Jabs away, so they won't be able to D-ward. They probably have another sentry coming over. But Radiant doing a very good job at trying to protect their vision at the moment. Boom Bell, Skewer finds the RP. Where's the follow-up at the moment? Nice Silence is going to be able to keep Jabs alive. And we see just it's through these fights, it has been very difficult for them just to run into the Supernova, run into the Exorcism, run into the Tombstone. And now, I mean, Fnatic have a very, very good opportunity to take Roche. Moon's actually going to commit the Exorcism, so not waiting until the Manta's picked up on the Spectre just yet. But, like, how do you walk inside? You've got the Blink up Mars, you can drop the Arena, you've got the Gobble up to go in as well. So let's see if they want to try and contest this.
Kisses too.
But Roche is about to fall, and I mean, they don't have visions now. He's just getting claimed. Never mind's going to go the last second, but a perfect use stops the speed, and over the silence on top of the backline, finds 4. Moon gets rid of the kisses. Now, Nevermind will pay the price there, man. Moon's silences have been so goddamn on point this game. It feels like we're just seeing multi-hero silence after multi-hero silence, and it's just making it really awkward for them to follow up.
A lot of indecision there. You could see the Motivate boys were just, you know, stepping back and forth, not knowing exactly, oh, do we commit onto this? Because probably because they didn't have the RP. You know, I'm sure that Snapfire spitting the mag in for an RP was the way that they wanted to play that, but just not having that with the failed gank attempt onto the Phoenix meant that I was feeling not too confident about that kind of strategy.
And now it's going to give Radiant a little bit of an advantage here. They got a 2,000 net worth lead, and they're continuing just to increase their potential. Actually, Q is going to be able to find the Phoenix. Let's see if Brimbo can get in range to help out. Tries. Oh,
nice.
that cookie. Next level play coming out. Nicely done. I mean, the mid is already getting shoved in though, but you take a look. Meanwhile, Savage, he's also done a very good job to push him bot to link up that kill into an objective. So trading right now against the team that has the H is going to feel pretty nice. I guess Radiant, they don't have Exism. Tombstone is back up. They want to try and contest. Savage trying to run up the higher ground. Q gives him some space. Savage going to try and turn, getting a couple crits. The Hex control as well. He's still got the Omni Slash, and now the Man's to get out of the silence as well. Has the healing ward already dropped, but yours unfortunately on top of the wrong target. Now with the movement speed, look at Savage be able to disengage. Nevermind can follow up as well. If Radiant dive a little bit too far, you got to keep in mind Exorcism still down for another 20 seconds, but they're hunting straight on top of Q. They go. Stun's available. Going to be so difficult to just deal with Raven, considering he's still got this blade mail, so you can't deal with him in the maxed out dispersion. Now underneath the tower, Nevermind. Oh, you look at the combo! The Wombo's there! This Omni Supernova dropped, and now the second life's going to do absolutely nothing. An incredible arena paired up with the Omni and the RP, and now Raven, he's getting chased down. I mean, he's got the Horn. It's actually going to go back on Boom Bell, so he gets a nice cheeky kill, and with the bounties up as well, he's just going to snag one of them.
Give him the tip. That's what you need at that point. He gives them waha. I guess that's good enough, but well, that's the sort of team fight that you're expecting from Motivate. You know, early game, that is their specialty. And a lot of their wins against these more favored teams in the previous tournaments came off of fights just like that. You know, games were ending in 20, 30 minutes just because no one could contest against the cohesion that they had. So it's good to see that they haven't forgotten anything of what's made them where they are today.
Just, I mean, the communication there with continuing to bait that fight back, getting it towards the tier ones where you can have, I mean, they had that vision advantage to see the backline with the ward by kind of the river, and just that TP point with the tier one so incredibly important. Just the understanding and the communication that's coming through from Motivate to reset that fight and just recognize that we can turn it if they continue chasing us. And now they kind of, I mean, they get rid of this ages advantage from Fnatic, and Savage is still incredibly far on top of the net worth. They're looking to try and put some pressure on top of the tier one mid, which is going to really open up the map at the moment. But got to keep in mind they've used a lot of their ultimates here. So let's see how they're still able to play around with this, considering the Exorcism is up for Radiant. Supernova's going to be up in 10 seconds as well, but they'll get the tier 1 and they're going to try and back off to where they've got vision in case Radiant do chase.
No Haunt though, which they would be feeling confident about. And it's not going to be all that long, 20-25 seconds until you've got the full complement of ults ready. Bait. And I think the great thing about something like Swift Slash is that it's just going to be multi-purpose for Savage this time around, right? You can use it, of course, to get the single target pickoffs, but I don't think there's going to be many situations where Fnatic are going to be split up. Maybe the Spectre on his own, but that's about it, just because he has the mobility and the freedom to be able to haunt into these team fights. But Swift Slash is just going to be used immediately after a Manta style just to live for that extra half second to get the healing ward off, and then hopefully be able to transition that into a longer duration team fight, get these bigger team fight ultimates off for Motivate.
We see they're starting to get a couple of items as well. Blink picked up on the mag, you know, the Boots Chevel on the Snapfire. Just you're going to see a common item after the items, really enabling him to just be everywhere, you know, shoving out the lanes, joining in fights, and Radiant, they are going to smoke though.
It's into the Blink RP though.
They find Fearless. MG.Trust doesn't actually get the jump on the higher ground. Can Die get in here in time just to help out Fearless, but they're actually going to counter smoke themselves here. They've got very good ward on top of the high ground. Let's see what Boom can do to initiate forward.
Immediately smokes again.
And now Gobble up straight on top of the back. They've found him now, but the RP connects onto two with the Mortar Kisses fall, but tracks him out. The Kisses from there into the two-man stun from the Lion. Another incredible team fight, but you still have to worry about Raven on top of the back. Find Fearless, who's got this Essence Ring to play around with, so it's going to take Raven a little bit longer. And never mind, he's trying to help out with a Tombstone, but it's going to cost him his life here. And now Savage as well. The Blade Fury's on cooldown, but instead, looks like they want Boom Bell. He's got the blink, TP's available, so he should be able to make it out. What started, honestly, relatively decent. They got the gobble up on the Beastmaster, the two-man RP into that skewer into the Lion stun, but from there, I mean, it took them a while to deal with the Tombstone, and the Spectre just went to work as well with that Haunt.
Yeah, DJ living for so long with this Undying, it just feels like much more of that style of hero as opposed to an Ogre where you can, you know, juke around, play a little bit with HP, get away on that sliver of life, and really effective in just surviving long enough to enable Raven to come in and play the cleanup.
See right now though, I mean, it's such a it was a slow start to the game, but now we're really seeing kind of the team fights really pick up with the honestly, both teams have a very, you know, reliant lineup in the cooldown, so you're always going to have these exciting team fights, and then, you know, in between that, just waiting for them to come back up, trying to find their farm, and, you know, going from there. And Fearless actually gobble up once again on MG.Trust, but he's alright there.
The one Fnatic fan, by the way, in game, he's got a friend now. Now there's two.
Now there's two. Another nice little shout out to the fans there from Fnatic. We got going at the moment. I mean, they are kind of grouping up right now. I mean, Roshan still, it's going to be, it may respawn in 50 seconds, which is probably the next objective, but Raven just has a Skadi completed, although got to be careful with jabs up on the high ground. He's going to be able to get the dive away. So he's alright. Nicely done. This is, do they want to try and make a play with Arena on cooldown now?
Yeah, Arena on cooldown, as well as a BKB recently purchased on the Death Prophet. 10 seconds now, so this is perfect timing for them. Still vulnerable, of course, to the... is that Dawson? That's just a creep, okay. To the Juggernaut, as well as the RP, but it takes things like the Kisses, the Finger of Death out of the equation.
Skadi picked up from both the position ones as well. See the effect on that. And you got to keep in mind, Radiant, they've got an immense amount of sustain kind of coming through. The Undying, the Phoenix DP with the Spirit Siphon, Spectres, you know, usually got a pretty good HP regen as well. So the reduction that the Ice Guard is going to provide, you know, even for the Spectre as well against the Juggernaut.
Same thing with the healing ward though as well. Yeah. So Spectre's going to be happy to have one. Stats as well as that little bonus.
And also the factor of the slow going through the magic community is always really nice. I mean, he did go for the Blade Fury movement speed, and he's got phase as well, so, you know, moving pretty speedy is the Juggernaut, but just kind of recognizing at least it's going to give them a decent way to kind of help out slowing him down. I'm going to try and play around the vision though, see if they can get this jump up Radiant towards around the high ground, so it's going to give them a lot of advantage with the vision inside this choke point.
I think just respecting the fact that they have that vision. Playing blind, essentially. Outside of the hole. See? Jay's the one putting his body in first, taking away the outpost. Up with the cheese as well, so that could be a big difference maker.
They're underneath the ward here. They're going to be careful. Gets rid of it instantly. Now really relying on the Beastmaster to be able to enable that vision advantage at the moment. Savage playing on the front line. Who's going to get the initiation first? There we go. The Beastmaster blink forward thanks to Hawk. They're going to be able to try and bring down the Mars here, who's not protected enough. Savage not wanting to drop the healing wall. They're going to try and chuck in Boom Bell. I mean, it gets the RP, but the Supernova really going to disrupt any more follow-up there, and it looks like the 2 down for Motivate, and they used a lot of ultimates as well here. They're going to be careful if they stick around as Fnatic. A nice fight for them, and we've highlighted so much the vision advantage. It's just so important. We're seeing which team gets the jump. You know, the Mars unfortunately being the first target to be brought down, and that's a lot of their AoE control, locking them in for, you know, the kisses, the Omni Slash, the gobble up, the RP. So just the Beastmaster Hawk there really enabling that fight.
And he dropped like a sack of potatoes even with that BKB being used. That was his 10-second BKB. So huge team fight win, effective rotation back through to the Roche pit. Well, now that's a cheese plus Aegis plus an Aeon disc available for the Death Prophet. So he's doing the nice little play too, where he can just unlock it. But he has to be a little careful actually. Like if he tries to combine them together into the Aeon disc mid-team fight. Okay, he just sold the item that he needed because he had completely full inventory and backpack, so he wouldn't have been able to do that if he was not too careful.
He's keeping his wits about him. What are we got for the neutral items looking so far? Tier 3 is starting to get picked up. Oh, there's a telescope on Q. That's goddamn nice, considering he doesn't have a blink at the moment. He's actually going to be going for a 4-staff instead, just the positioning base. It's almost got that 15 talent as well with 150 cast range. So, you know, we'll see how Lion's going to be able to kind of help out through these fights with some of the abilities. He's got level 13 though, so, you know, pretty low on the support to die with the Mag and Lion at the bottom at the moment.
Just trying to think, what does Motivate need to be able to come? You know, it feels like every single team fight that they've won, it's been based around Nevermind hitting a great arena and then comboing it together with the rest of their spells. Of course, Savage is having a good game as well. Best to carry the rest of his team, but it is a big drop between him and Fearless from 1 and 2 on the net worth charts.
Yeah, we've seen the snap. I mean, getting decent amount of loss. It's nothing compared to what the Jug is, and you see just kind of falling off 1, 3, and 8 at the moment. And Radiant going to be able to control the triangle at the moment. They drop a nice deep observer ward, top mid shoved in. Looks like Raven's going to try and deal with bot as well, but Dire, they're going to try and smoke up and hold their own high ground right with the bounties coming up pretty shortly here.
Raven's just going to be able to join this as soon as they reveal themselves.
Never mind. Blink forward, finds DJ, speeds off the mark, jabs, instant pops the BKB. He's going to be careful to get brought down to the Switch Flash. They're going to try and deal with the Tombstone in, so they'll be successful. But they've already used the Blade Fury, so they can't deal with the Supernova. Now with the Raw controlling up the Juggernaut, where's the save coming through? Spike gives himself protection. The RP, Omni, he gets the out disco. Now where's the damage coming out? Raven's going to be able to turn. He's still got the Aegis as well. The Juggernaut doesn't do enough. The Gobble up a little bit too late, and Motivate, the buybacks are coming up, but they don't have the ult to be able to take the fight. They're just going to chase them down. Nevermind will fall, and the consequence is there. They just TP'd in. They're in trouble as Savage is getting chased back. He's got the movement speed with the Blade Fury, but where's the follow-up? Radiant, do they want to dive inside the base? They won't opt to do so. So you lose the Aegis on the Spectre, what looked like an incredible RP Omni, but the Death Prophet getting off that Aeon disc, the cheese as well. You didn't kill off the Spectre first life, and they just turned.
It's just the benefit of having that Aeon disc, you know, not completely ready at all points in time. It's kind of a waste, right, to be able to have the cheese, but this essentially gave them 3 lives.
Boom Bell skewer back. They get the Spectre. It's going to be a decent amount of damage. We've got to keep careful though, because he's got the Blade Mail and the Dispersion, so Mag just eats through it at all. Now he's down for 70. That's a dieback for him. And now they can just continue sieging, although the repair kit is going to make it a little bit more difficult. They don't have the Exo. Beastmaster at least providing some help there, but looks like they are very happy with what they've gotten so far. After that fight, a 10,000 net worth lead. They're still hanging around though. Masros has got the Roar, and Fearless is actually pushed up a little bit. Can they? Do they want to even go? Okay, they don't.
Oh, we pump faked it. Importantly as well, Juggernaut used the buyback too.
Never mind. So. Misses his speed. Jab's going to try and move forward. He's going to have the ultimate back up in a couple seconds. They even dropped the Tombstone as well, just in case the fight does break out. You see Dire tried to punish them there, but the vision that Radiant had at the moment was able to scout that out and just enabled them to kind of reset.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think they're just straight up tired of this Yule Scepter being able to stop a lot of the damage that might be coming through onto the DP. Got the Aeon Disc back online already, but that's what the Juggernaut's waiting with his courier at his own secret shop. They found Max, though.
And we'll be able to catch out the Phoenix here, but the Mortimer can just follow up. Master stuck inside as well. There's no detection. So
suspicious,
nice.
Master
Don't be suspicious.
Suspicious.
Is he going? So Jug's going MKB, and he's got the Nullifier queued up afterwards. But yeah, exactly like you said, though, the Yule Scepter from the Death Prophet. I mean, what is it? 2.5 seconds against the 3.5 from the duration of the Omni Slasher, negating just so much of that damage from Savage. And until they have a way to be able to dispel that off with the Nullifier, it's just going to continue to be a nuisance here.
Oh. They tried their best to catch the Jug as he was TPing out, but that's a pretty big ultimate wasted now. I mean, it's given them a little bit of a window to be able to come back into this game on Motivate's side. No Haunt, you've got all of your ultimates available in not too long. Mortimer's Kiss is still 50 seconds, but it's a big window, over a minute that they've got at around the 34-minute mark.
You see instantly they're going to try and get some map control. They just come around the triangle, deward the area. You got Savage who's already pushing in bot, closing in on that level 25. Mid. Looks like Radiant's still kind of sticking their ground though. They know how strong they still can be, even without the Haunt. And it looks like Master's a little bit low on the mana, unfortunately. So need a little bit of help there. What's he got coming out? A couple of clarities. There we go.
With the Fearless, you can see just with the way that Fnatic have been playing this, he's been forced to go into the Blink Dagger. Probably something that he doesn't want to. At around the 20-minute mark, you want to be finishing up items like your MKB so you can immediately take advantage of the little bit of using your attack damage talent. But be the case just yet. He finishes up his BKB and now he's going into the MKB. So a little bit more survivability for now, but it's at the cost of not being able to dish it out if you don't get literally the perfect combination together.
Do you like the Blink picked up though? Because a lot of times Spectre is one of the best heroes to be able to deal with Blink Daggers, just instantly getting rid of that with the Haunt.
It's a tough one, right? I feel like Fearless has been the main target that they're trying to go on outside of Nevermind. You know, if they can catch him when he's facing away, pump the stuns into him, then they feel pretty confident that they're going to be able to take him down. I'm surprised at how inactive Motivate have been. Yes, they've taken back some map control, but Raven's going to have that Haunt available in another 25 seconds. He's level 25 now as well, so extra 5% dispersion.
Alright, there we go. That's a big item. Savage having the Nullifier now is going to give them a lot more opportunity to be able to deal with these kind of utility items that we see from Fnatic to really kite out the Jug. So didn't opt to complete the MKB, just recognizing the importance that they needed on the Nullifier. But Radiant, I mean, their ultimate's about to come back up. There's even a DD on the Spectre, so they've got to be careful. The Blink forward goes. The Blink doing nothing. Boom, with the RP up to 3. Now where's the ball coming out from the Juggernaut? It's going to chuck up the Switch Slash, the Omni as well. But Dire, they've already lost 2 heroes. Now the Nullifier isn't going to get used. Even the Supernova, Savage going to be able to get out of that, but it looks like Kenny TP out. The Bash is there to cancel, and Savage will pay the price. He doesn't have a buyback, forcing the Nullifier, and Masters with Blink forward as well. They want to hunt for more, punishing Motivate's attempt to take the fight. They'll bring down 4, and they don't have any buybacks.
Man, you can't ask for much of a better initiation. It's just way too much to handle on Fnatic's side right now, and that's why you need to take this sort of engagements before the Haunt is able to be used. He lucked out a little bit having the double damage as well, of course, but show how effective a team like Fnatic is at pushing their advantages.
Oh, well,
and he's trying his best to rat. I think he'll probably pay for it.
Well, top's coming in thanks to Moon, so they will get at least a little bit of backdoor protection. I believe Dire have a repair kit, right? Yeah, Boombell's going to drop that one down, so okay. I mean, it's going to delay it a little bit, but still, these objectives are going to end up falling.
Back to top. So he did his job, you know, at least mid's protected.
Who just got the refresher? Did you see? Phoenix did, okay.
Man, Jabs is far.
Yeah, wow. He is cruising ahead of the Mars right now, neck and neck with the Beastmaster as well. They got a full set of racks up top. Jug, keep in mind, no buyback. Boombell, nice, Yule Scepter. And Raven. He's even got the Abyssal Blade as well. They're going to try and give him some space with the Cookie, but now it looks like Master's going to be able to follow up underneath the tier 4 tower. Jabs pops the Refresher, just looking to dive forward to hunt down Q, zoning them inside the base, and that's all 5 down, and it looks like that's going to be game 1 as well. And they're so aware, dropping the egg, and man, what a performance from Fnatic in this game.
Yeah, this is much more like the Fnatic that we're used to, and pretty damn dominant. A game can work where you just rely on the enemy team to respond to what you're trying to do. It was only, I feel like,